Hello. You can sit is on the chair or on the ground also. Also, if you want on the floor, I think it is maybe better for you if you have pain or. No to theater, no to big stages, no to institutions, no to museums. They are like cemeteries. No to applications, no to auditions, no to deadlines, no to contracts, no to the division of our life in working days and holidays, no to schedule. Yes to art emerging spontaneously in the most unexpected spaces and times. In basements, courtyards, squares, parking spaces, parks, public restrooms, public transport, airports. The best dances take place in the kitchen. Yes to art being as present in the public space as are nowadays the cars on the streets and the cigarettes on the ground. Yes to small stages where the performer is so close that we can see all their little movements and expressions, smell their sweat and hear their breath. Yes to La Morgue Festival, yes to the Fringe Festival, no to curation, yes to participatory performance, yes to equal visibility to all the stages of a creative process, yes to a new vocabulary to speak about art, no to production, yes to creation, no to companies, yes to collectives, yes to squats, yes to interventions. Art is like farting, art is like burping, art is like yawning, art is like sneezing, art is like a kiss that you cannot resist to give to your lover. Dankeschön. Ich heiße Johan Schuller, Ich komme aus Deutschland, aber ich wohne in Wien, in Österreich. Ich bin Künstler, and for the rest of this evening I will continue in English since we have an international audience here. So, you have just listened to my art manifesto that I started writing about a week ago. This means that it is still very fresh, more things will be added, and for today I have planned two things for you. First, I will start by saying a few more things about myself. If you do not want to hear about me, please leave now. I just want to warn you that it is going to be a lot of blah blah. And then, after this talk, I will take you to a simulation of my atelier that I brought here, and there we are going to have a more practical session, but I'm going to give more details about this part later. And also, coming to this, before I start, I would really like to say thank you to the technical person of the festival for bringing this chair for me. Thank you. I know artists usually need chairs when they talk, but I would like to let you know that me in general as a person, I do not like chairs. I also don't like sitting at all. In my life, I only walk or I lie down. If I sit but only on the ground. This is also a rule in my atelier. From the moment you step into it, no matter what you do, you have to do it walking constantly. Even when we are zusammen with a colleague in the atelier and we are discussing an idea, we are like two mosquitoes taking the whole space and going like, Was meinst? Ist das interessant? Okay, cool. All the time moving, but never sit. Because sitting kills the creativity. So, before I start, I would also like to make a clarification. When I speak now about art in a more critical sense, I refer to big-scale, established, conventional art. So, how things usually happen in that context is that there is a contract. And in that contract, you have the rehearsal time and the show time. And the dates and the things have been decided from time before, and the artist is expected to function according to this contract. Now, for me, this is completely artificial and suffocating. I cannot exist in that context. I had to do it, of course, when I was studying performing arts in Berlin, and it was horrible. I remember actually once, it was the day of the final performance to graduate, and me, I didn't come. It was literally half an hour before the performance, everything was ready, and my colleague was calling me, we had to play a scene together. She was super stressed, like, Johan, wo bist du, komm hier, don't do bullshit. And me, we need to hide from the bees that is flying there. Okay? Don't move! You see now the bees are there. Go, take the butterfly and go to catch it. Go. Go, go. I was super happy, super calm. I just did not feel like going to the performance that day. Then, of course, my colleagues, they were very angry from the school. They kicked me out. They never gave me the diploma. They said, Johan, you're completely unprofessional. You will never succeed with this attitude in the working life, and blah, 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 blah. But this actually was also feedback for me to take. And I said to myself, okay, Johan, you do not need to force yourself and also no need to create trouble for your classmates. If the setting does not work for you, you can find another setting that works better. Throughout my education in my old dance school, I became aware of some struggles that I had, especially when I was working in group settings. So, one of them, that is, I guess, also quite common, was self-criticism. It was quite ongoing and quite harsh. And then there was also a lot of comparing myself to the others. And this self-comparison was not very productive, because it wouldn't bring me closer to my classmates and make me say, hey, maybe you are better at this, we can help each other, we can figure things out together. Actually, it had the opposite effect. It made me isolate, it created a very toxic jealousy, it made me look at myself as if I were crap and elevate all my other classmates to the amazing movers, performers. And in short, it just made me isolate a lot and not enjoy my time with them. Then I also had moments that I took things very personally, like we were rehearsing on something and someone would give me feedback, and this feedback would be translated into my head into a personal attack. Or like minor incidents that are a very ordinary thing in rehearsals. In my head they would be translated into big conflicts, and I would feel very offended. I was very sensitive in general, and very uncomfortable sometimes being surrounded by classmates. And then also having someone like a choreographer telling me what to do, it did help me creatively for sure, but it was not what brought out the most of my creativity. So based on these experiences and these feelings that I had, I started going to the studio on my own and creating solo works. Creating on my own had two very opposing sides. On the one hand, it did become my default. It was something that I was enjoying a lot, that came very easily and that I was quite good at. But then on the other hand, it was also connected with a feeling of loneliness. And I had the constant wish to approach someone with whom I could connect artistically and we could explore together. And this is something that is a bit outside of my comfort zone and that I didn't really do during these 4 years in education. And so, this is how the idea of the atelier came, because in the atelier, I'm mostly having I have mostly my own time and space, but also I'm not isolated from the world. It is open, and people come on a daily basis, they watch, also they join sometimes. I actually have many people that we work together. In Berlin, I have collaborators in Wien, in Zürich, in Salzburg, in München, Hamburg, Frankfurt, Paris, Marseille, Lyon, Madrid, Lisbon, Madrid, Barcelona, Madrid, Athen, Thessaloniki, Kairo, Rabat, Kairo, Istanbul, Madrid, Budapest, Prag, Bratislava, Ljubljana, Stockholm, Moscow, of course, St. Petersburg, Athen, Madrid, Cairo, Iraq, India, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Chile, New York, San Francisco, Mexiko-Stadt, Peru, Mexiko-Stadt, the Little Rocks on the Aegean Sea, underneath the surface of the ocean also, the Iceland, the North Pole, the Pacific Ocean, the moon, the stars, the sun, other planets, other galaxies, the world of the dead people also. The skies. All of them. All. They wanted Johan Schuller to work for them. They said, "Komm, Johan, komm, and don't worry, we give you alles, was du willst. All. The money, the facilities, all the cool people, dramaturg, all. Just come and do projects and performances for us." Of course, they like my work. I'm special, I know. But I said no. And I said no because I'm not interested in how they work and how they think about art. And okay, I know good money, but money is not my priority. And it is not that I'm rich, I want to make this clear. I only have one space, that it is both my house and my atelier. And this is alles I have. And also many other things I don't like. Especially in big festivals. For example, I don't like curators. And I don't like them because they're a bit like judges. This we take, this we don't take, they impose a signature on the festival, and they create a very specific aesthetics. Me, I like more democratic and inclusive festivals, that everyone can go. And also in the end, they bring works that will attract more audiences, that are maybe a bit more politically correct, because in the end it is all about the money. The money is the driving force. And then coming to galleries, I don't go to galleries because they're very strict. It's like a charity. It's too bourgeois. I cannot. Only once actually I said, okay, let's try it. And I said yes to an invitation from a gallery in Paris. and it was a disaster. My performance was scheduled to happen at 6 p.m. And everything was ready, and a couple of hours before the performance, I checked my calendar and I realized that it is full moon that day. So I called the organization of the gallery and I told them, hey Leute, let us just postpone it and do it late at night, up on the hill of Montmartre or on the river of Paris. It is much more beautiful than staying indoors. And the people of the gallery, of course, they became mad at me. They went like, but Johan, was sagst du? This is not possible. You're messing up with the whole schedule of the gallery. There are other events planned also on that day. And there is also the newspaper and the magazine and the photographer coming. And I just realized at that moment that it was all a business. It was all show off. And I got super pissed off and I told them, hey, you know something? I'm not doing it with you. I will just go alone in a square in Paris. I will announce my performance like, hey, I'm doing a performance tonight in Montmartre. Come. And I will collect the people who want. We will go up on the hill and we will do it on our own under the full moon. Sit in the chairs, don't speak out loud, don't eat, don't talk. I cannot exist in the gallery also. Prost. But I think, okay, it is enough now with being critical about art. Of course, I could keep going on for hours. I have dozens of things that I don't like. But to close, I would also like to give you my vision for art. So, my goal is to bring together the two worlds that in my understanding still stay very much separate. Meaning, the art world on one hand and the everyday life on the other. I really think it is time that art went out of its little safe palaces and really dared to take over the everyday life, the public space, the city. I do not want any longer to see angry, tired, lonely, depressed individuals walking in the middle of ugly cities like that. Or like that, super stressed all the time, going to all the places and the activities that capitalism imposes on us. No, this is finished. I imagine a society where art and artists will pop up constantly, no matter where you are and what you do all the time. You're walking down the street, you're on the metro, you're having an ice cream with your friend by the river, you're buying tobacco, I do not care. All these are places for art. I just wish that we were a bit more in tune with our artistic selves and our artistic urges, and that we would just let art out of us instead of holding it inside, all the time. To give you an example for that, I would like a volunteer. Could I come to you?
Yes.
Okay, so could you stand up, please? So let's say that you're on the bus, okay? And someone comes and puts their hand on the back of your shoulder.
No.
Can I try this experiment and then we can discuss about it? And they start doing things like that. Thank you. Thank you. So, you, with today's standards, you would go paranoid. This is sexual abuse, or they want to steal something from me, all these horrible things that happen in big cities, and we're constantly afraid and tense are. But now, it is none of this, Leute. It is just that by doing this movement, the person wants to invite you on an improvisation on the bus. And this is alles. I know now it sounds weird and it sounds awkward, but now I finally want to reach this point that this kind of behaviors will be completely acceptable. They will be like the everyday social norm. Like the city will be a big collective contact improvisation playground. I see you on the street, I take you to dance tango or salsa. Out of the blue. In Christmas Eve, like that. And also, going further in that direction, I would like to make people a bit more familiar with some things happening on the street that till nowadays they're seen still as a bit weird. Sing out loud in the street. Say a poem or a monologue. Dance outside in the streets. All these things are completely okay. They are beautiful and they are not dangerous at all. And also coming to street performers. Why street performers need to deal with so much unnecessary bureaucratic bullshit? They need the license from the authorities and they have a time limit that they cannot go over. And the worst thing of all, they need to deal with the crazy neighbor or the owner of the restaurant that calls Polizei if they go a bit over time. And I would like to ask this question to whoever calls the Polizei to kick the street artists away. You are not annoyed by all the all this crazy, ugly, massive sounds that violate the whole city. And you are annoyed by an artist underneath your balcony playing Beatles or Beethoven for free. Like this I cannot understand. I think we have become so used to living with ugliness and violence that we don't question these things, and then when we are confronted with beauty and poetry and collectiveness, then these things strike us as cuckoo. And this is completely cuckoo. Like really, what we see as cuckoo and not cuckoo in today's society, for me is completely cuckoo. This whole notion of cuckoo-ness, it needs to be reconsidered. Guten Tag. Haben Sie bestellen ein Buch von Jacques Lecoq? No? Also, as a person who sender is also interested into theater, you maybe want to contact him and meet. So, how this idea works is that when you order something, you also give a work of art back. and then this goes to the common library that people can go and order from. But if you do not have something for today, it is okay. Maybe you can choose something and then you text me or an email through the website, and I pass by another day. Cool? Okay. And for you is Funkenstraße 1, no? So, Sie haben Rilke bestellen. Schönen Abend. Auf Wiedersehen. Ja. Tschüss. This idea came to me when I was working as a delivery guy in Berlin. I thought that it would be nice to start running a delivery service, but instead of delivering food, we would deliver art. It would function exactly in the same way as a delivery service. There would be a website and people would go to it, but instead of ordering pizza and cola, they would order books, order films. And then there would be a network of delivery people bringing these artworks to the people who ordered them. Isn't this eine super tolle Idee? Also, in the atelier afterwards, you will see I have a petition. Please sign it if you would like to be involved in that project in any way you think you could be involved. Dankeschön. An outside waiting area of an airport. A really high ceiling, like the ceilings that you have in stadiums and arenas. In between the metal bars of the ceiling, many birds go to build their nests. All of a sudden, all the birds, many birds, collectively. For a moment, I really think that I'm in the movie of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And then I say to myself, hey, Johan, this is it. Such a great concert was offered to you without you having to search for it, to plan it, to book. No, it just appeared. And this is the best example of what I mean when I say, let art emerge. Let us just widen our perspective a bit, so that more things, more simple things maybe, can be considered as art. Because I really think that nowadays, still the more popular art, the more dominant art, is happening very much inside the structure. There's a framework that I would like to get rid of. Let's look at it. First of all, art happens in specific venues, and this I don't like. And then the whole procedure is like a ritual. The performance starts at 9 p.m. And we all go to the theater, we enter, we see it, the bell rings 3 times, the lights go down, the curtain opens, and then all the things happen on stage, and then there's a bow, the clapping, finished. We go out, we drink the cocktail, we are all super dressed up, and then we continue our lives, probably forgetting completely what we saw. And then we call this art. Leute, this is not art. This is just easy, comfortable entertainment on the side of capitalism. This is not radical enough, this is not provocative enough, this is really not crossing the crucial boundaries that needs to be crossed. It is not targeting the people that need to be targeted the most. It stays inside the bubble, it does nothing. It is too elite. Who would have the time and the money and the knowledge to go to the art spaces? And first of all, why put art in spaces? Is it like an animal that you keep in a cage? Art is not made to be kept inside spaces. No, let it go out. Let it fly the ganze Stadt. Let it take the whole city. Dankeschön. This is it. If you would like to discuss more, we will have a Q&A session later with a beer or a cigarette. But for now, I would like to invite you to the atelier, as I said, for an open exploration with the objects, the space, the people. Feel free to just see or also to join, interact. It is quite open. Also, a note, this installation, they asked me many places, also in Louvre Museum in Paris, to bring, but I said no. I brought here because I really like the vibes of the festival, it's the people, it's underground, I like it. So yeah, this is it. You can follow me, we can transition slowly into the